Talking about the kind of numbers that some companies have given or returns that some companies have given over the last summer to this summer, the last 5 years as the Nifty and the Sensex have scaled new highs. So it's been an eventful journey. We fished out the list of the top 20 names on the BSE 500, or on the larger list really, which have given some stupendous returns. One of the topmost performers in the pharma space and in the markets at large has been IPCA Labs. So good performer. A lot of people want to know about what could happen to the business going ahead over the next 12 months to 24 months. We're getting AK Jain, ED of IPCA Labs, who joins us right now on the show to speak about that. Good having you, Mr. Jain. Thanks so much for joining in. And must say your investors have been very happy with what the company's done over the last 5 years. So keep up the good work. Let's talk about the near term. And, you know, Q2 was weak as far as the top line was concerned, mainly on the weak India business. You've guided for a 20% top line growth and 200 bips margin improvement. Where do you see this growth coming from?
Yeah. Let's see if first you see our India business. This business has been doing well. If you track the number of ORG IMS, they are continuously reporting our growth to be one among the highest among the top 25 companies. So our India business is really doing very well. The poor business in last quarter was mainly on account of anti-malarial, and which is a seasonal business. And this year incidence of malaria was very low, and this quarter is heavily loaded malaria business. Almost around 50% of malaria business happens in this particular quarter, and we have significant malaria business in India. And therefore, this quarter was, as far as domestic business was bad, but overall, otherwise we are doing well in most of the therapies. As far as our exports are concerned, most geographies are doing well. Our branded formulation business in international market, our generic businesses, all those businesses are doing very well. And therefore, we see a growth to be almost around 20%. And overall, because of the favorable dollar-rupee rates, also we see that our margins will definitely improve, and also product mix is changing, and that's also leading to towards the better margins.
Afternoon, Mr. Jain. If you talk about the overall growth in the Indore SEZ, when can we expect it to be fully operational, and when can we see shifting of products from Silvassa to Indore?
Right now, these product transfers are taking place there, and almost validations and stability studies are currently going on. We will see the business to start for the US from this particular facility from the last quarter of the current financial year, and the next financial year full we will have the impact of US business coming in. And what 20% growth guidelines what we are given, we are not factored in the US business because it will just start at the end of the last quarter in the current financial year.
If I look at the last quarter numbers again, Mr. Jain, the highlight as per a lot of people was probably what happened with the operational numbers. So my question is, are you underplaying the bottom line performance because your margin performance was so splendid that it would actually give in a much better bottom line show than what your top line would?
Largely the bottom line impact is mainly because of forex losses, because of mark to market on our dollar borrowings. But otherwise, if you see the overall the profitability was very good, and if you see the overall numbers on top line side, because our India business was weak, it was only a 5% growth, mainly because of anti-malarials. That has impacted overall your top line growth. Otherwise, we are in domestic market, we are continuously growing by almost around 15% plus kind of rate, and therefore overall growth numbers are going to be good.
Right, and so going forward, are you seeing strong growth also? You spoke about the domestic business particularly, but in the API segment and the export growth, what kind of an up move can we expect there?
API business is growing by around 17 to 20%, and we don't see much of the growth coming from this segment. Overall, this growth is going to be remain around 15 to 18% as far as API is concerned. But our generic business growth are going to be very good overall.
Okay. The other question would be, I think Avan was asking also about the export numbers. There is a report which states that the export shipment to the US from the Indore facility, which will begin in Jan or March 2014, in the form of 3 new launches. This coupled with a few others in 2014-15 would add almost 80 to 100 crores in sales in that year itself. Is that a correct estimate?
Yeah, that's a correct estimate, yeah.
Okay, so 80-100 crores in 2014-15. And would the ramp up at the Indore facility help you improve your margins by another 200 to 300 basis points in 2014-15?
Let's say right now, say most of the expenditure of that particular plant is on revenue account, and we are currently losing almost around 2 crore rupees a month on this particular facility on account of your expenditure on this facility. And that itself recovery will improve the margin by around 1% point.
Okay, 1% point. I mean, the reason I'm asking you these numbers, sir, is that I was looking at some consensus estimates for you as a company, not just for 2013-14, but for 2014-15. And while you've given a guidance for the current year, they believe that it should be possible for you to clock in a profit of close to 600 crores the next year, which would result in an EPS of around 45 to 46 rupees. On the button?
Let's say we have given so far the EBITDA margin guidelines that overall EBITDA margins will improve by 1%, and as far as once the US this Indore SEZ facility is fully commercialized, this will also increase the margin by around a percentage point. But there are going to be pressure on account of R&D cost and all. So overall, we are looking that margins should remain, EBITDA margin should remain in the region of around 24% or so for the next financial year.
Now, the street certainly believes that the next step now for the company will be to develop value-added products for the US. So what's the company's strategy for going ahead with this? Because, you know, we believe that the company is working in 3 niche products through the 505B route. Can you confirm?
Yes, we are in that particular process. The 505B2 projects are one project on which the clinical trials are currently happening, and other 2 projects are at R&D stage right now. Plus, there are a lot of sustained release and controlled release products are under development, which are difficult to make kind of formulation, and those kind of filings would now be happening. So in future, yes, more difficult to make kind of products will be being added to the overall basket.
Great. Mr. Jain, keep up the good work. As I said, thanks so much for taking the time out, and hope you have a much better second half and a much better 2014-15 as well.